Hey everybody, it's Joel, and we're back talking toys. Today we're doing another figure review, another episode. This time with something completely different than what I normally do. We're actually going with a McFarlane figure, and not just any McFarlane figure. We're going with the Legend of Vox Machina figures from Critical Role. Today we are looking at PERCY. I kind of stumbled upon this. I stumbled upon the whole thing by watching the cartoon not too long ago. I absolutely loved it and just really kind of wanted to see if they had figures out. I found out McFarlane did a bunch of them, and so I went ahead and picked them up on an Amazon Black Friday kind of a thing. So I got PERCY, I got him out of the box. I actually dug the figure so much that I wanted to do an actual figure review on it. So I've got him out of the box here, but let's, as usual, we always look at the box first. So I'm going to set him aside. We'll just take a quick look at this box. So first, we've got the Critical Role logo. We've got Legend of Vox Machina, and we have PERCY just down here at the bottom. Up at the top, we do have a window here. We have the Critical Role logo. We have, if we bring it down, we have a McFarlane logo. We have Prime Video, because that's the only place that you can watch it, I think, other than clips on YouTube. We have the Critical Role logo again. We have PERCY's full name, Percival Frederick Stein von Mussel Klawowski de Rollo III, and that's a mouthful if I've ever heard it, and I think they had kind of fun creating that name. Again, we have the Prime Video logo and McFarlane Toys. On the back, we have a character shot of PERCY, Vox Machina, and if we bring it up here, we've got a little bit of a bio for him, so you guys can pause it if you want to read it. And then at the bottom, we have the entire cast for Vox Machina. On this side, we have character shot of PERCY, his name, and then again, we have the Critical Role. So that's the box. Let's get it out of here. And let's go ahead and bring out PERCY and take a look at him. So I gotta say, getting him out of the box, this was actually kind of a neat thing. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of McFarlane figures. I have some, but I've just never been a huge fan of these figures. Mainly because QC issues, things like that. I've always experienced kind of the worst end of it. But when I got this out of the box, I was pleasantly surprised. He doesn't come with a lot of accessories. In fact, the one accessory he does come with is his gun. So we could actually bring that out here real quick. The pepper box. You can see it's done in a metallic silver. We have dark brown for the wood on the handle there. We have some gunmetal for the ring. We have the silver that kind of goes over to the actual hammers. And then we have this kind of a dark tan, dark mustard for the, I guess, accent metal on the handle itself. I would have expected that to be a little bit more golden, but that being said, it is what it is. You know, I still like it for what it is, what it represents. So that's pretty cool. We'll set that aside here real quick. Bring up PERCY, and let's just take kind of a quick look at him. He's got the white kind of grayish hair that his character is known for. He's green eyes. He does have his glasses, and the glasses are attached to his head, so unlike some of the G.I. Joes and stuff, his glasses are there. They're not going to fall off or anything like that. He's got the skin tone for the paint, and you could tell there's some brush strokes, so this was painted on. Bring it up here real quick. So the skin tone was painted on, and you can see there's a little bit of a paint app issue on his neck if we look at it, where the light blue kind of hit his neck instead of just staying around the collar and the ascot. But that's fine, you know, overall that's pretty good. We do have a full range of motion for the head. He does do a full 360. If we were to turn him to the side and get a better look at his head as far as bending up and down, he can look down about yay far, and he can look up about yay far. The one thing about the eyes and the head that kind of gets me, and we'll see if we can get a closer look at it, is his eyes are constantly looking over to his left. So I don't know if that was just intentional or what, but if you can see it, my hands aren't shaking too bad. His eyes will continually look over to the left. So, yeah. that's my gripe there. It does have this kind of a light blue, light kind of seafoam green almost for the ascot and his collar. It's hard to distinguish the detail because it's all one color like that. It's more of a, we've got kind of a black dark color for his vest, and you can tell there is a little bit of a mold on the vest to kind of show that it zips up. The jacket itself is navy blue. We've got a little bit of gold paint for the buttons that house the Vero logo or symbol, but you can't see it. He does have a belt which has a metallic blue buckle on it. It does have some soft, so I think that the belt itself is kind of attached or glued onto the waist, because the rest of the belt is actually soft plastic. So, you know, the holster here is soft plastic. So we've got that. And then pants are kind of more that black. Then we get down to his boots, and they are brown. Just as far as articulation goes, and then we'll note his gloves are black. His cuff is also black on his jacket, as well as his lapel and collar. As far as the articulation goes for his arms, he does get his arms to come out about yay far. And he does have a full 360. He does have a bicep swivel on the forearm. And he has a really great double jointed elbow. Now they're pinned, and that kind of worried me. So that was kind of the reason why I was concerned about like some McFarlane stuff. But these pinned joints are actually really nice. They move very well. I don't feel like they're being stressed, kind of like I do with some of the Marvel stuff. So I'm extremely happy with that. And then of course he does have, you know, not only does his wrist spin in a full 360, like so, but he does have a joint so he can get a horizontal bend. But you can turn that joint, because I think it's on a peg as well, and you could get a vertical bend on it as, so you get both bends. So you get vertical and horizontal, depending on how you move that joint around, and it works on both sides. Now, one of the things I would note is that his holster is on his left-hand side, but as you can see, his hand on his left side is just an open hand, whereas he has a pistol grip hand on his right-hand side. He doesn't come with any other accessories other than the pepper box. I would have liked to have seen another hand come through, because in the show, he's ambidextrous. He fires from both left and right. So it would have been nice to see him have the ability to draw, because when you put the gun in, it's meant to sit with the trigger obviously facing towards his back, like so. So with this hand, it makes it incredibly difficult to make it realistically feel like he's about to draw. So that would be, I guess, gripe number 2 if I had to have one. He does have a waist turn, and he does have an upper chest turn as well. So you got a little bit of movement there. We look at that. He can bend forward about that far, and he can bend back about yay far. We look at his legs. They can go up about this far, and they go back about that far. This part of his coat here is all soft plastic. It's really nice. It moves very well. So I'm actually kind of pleased with that. You'll see there's some wrinkles in the pant there. You can get him to do the splits, so he can go about yay far on the splits. And then he does have a pinned double knee. Again, the pinned double knee, the joint works really well. I'm not upset with that at all. Again, that was like probably the other thing that was probably worrying me a little bit. There is a little bit of looseness right here, but overall, the knee bends just fine. We do look at his ankles. You can get some left and right movement on the ankle, and he does have a toe bend, which looks painful in the right light. And the foot goes down, and it kind of goes up, but not really. So it's really about that far, and then he just points down. And that's kind of his articulation there. He looks good. Overall, I mean, he looks really good. Yeah, there's kind of a few small little things here, but when you look at it, it's hard for me to complain. And I don't know if I'm just kind of in that whole fanboy mode of, Vox Machina right now. I don't think that that's fully the case. I think I'm trying to look at it a little bit more open-minded. But you can put his pepper box in his hand, get the trigger finger into the ring there, and then you can pose him with the gun. So, yeah, I mean, it looks a little weird if you're just holding it out like that, but you can bend the wrist, having him holding it out like so, and it starts to look a little bit more natural in his hand. Get his head to kind of look in the same general direction. So you can have him firing the pepper box at whoever's on his list, as it were. And I think it turns out pretty nice as far as the figure goes. I think this is kind of like one of those breakout figures, all completely, I wouldn't say on accident that I ended up purchasing them, but it kind of just fell together, and I'm really happy that I did. I also picked up Kalith, so I can't wait to look at her. And then, of course, there's the twins, Vax and Vex. As far as the wave goes, this seems to be like in wave 2, but that being said, I don't know what wave 1 is. I would love to see what wave 1 would have been. I can't seem to find anything on the internet about it, though. So yeah, overall, so this is my review on Percy from McFarlane Toys from Critical Role. I'm very pleased with this figure. It's my breakout figure. I did not expect much out of this figure, but I'm actually quite pleased with this figure overall. If you guys are a fan of Vox Machina, I highly recommend checking it out. Picking up the figure if you find it. You might be able to still find it on Amazon for a pretty good deal, like I did. But if you haven't seen the show, it's on Amazon Prime. Neither of which McFarlane Toys nor Amazon are promoting this particular video. I'm just letting you guys know that I thoroughly enjoyed it and in recommending it to you. So if you want to check it out, check it out. If not, cool. It's your TV. Do what you want with it. Thank you again for joining us on this figure review. We'll see you on the next one. You guys have a wonderful day.